One thing that makes our team really unique to work with is that across the firm, so many of our engineers have experience managing full service projects. So that includes the architect, other engineers, interior designers, and then sub consultants below us contractually. So we've got a little bit of a unique perspective when managing projects. I think that role is often filled by an architect, maybe by training, maybe by genetics. We often think a little bit differently than architects. I think it does, make us approach management a little bit differently. And then this is also a very natural fit for smaller scope projects that are more heavy on the engineering side. Often those are facility equipment upgrades. As a team here in Denver, we're familiar with providing on-call engineering services to support the needs of facilities management. And to us, I think it's really important that each client knows that we're there to support them and that we value building relationships with each of them that are unique to each client.
So one of the biggest challenges that we have about working at aging facilities is, these are older facilities, so there's lots of projects with varying degree of documentation over the years. Rarely do you ever have the same design firm do the initial design for the building and then all of the subsequent renovations. So when you're starting up a new project for the work at these facilities, you have to piece together all of the necessary information from multiple sources, whether it's pulling all of the old drawing sets that the facilities might have, working with some of the older firms, see that they are able to give you some of the drawing sets, but also, working with the facility staff or some of the local tradesmen in the area who worked on the facilities and laid hands on there to get in there, research, dig around, and find all of the pieces that you actually need. And, it's important to not just look at your space, but how it's going to affect the building as a whole.
One of the most critical components of a successful complex project in an existing facility is really the collaborative, understanding working environment that emerges when all parties involved kind of let down their guard a little bit and really engage at a human level. Because sometimes in this industry, it's easy to see our relationships as merely contractual obligations. But when we do that, we maybe even subconsciously kind of dehumanize one another, which really sets a complex project up for failure. When we, as design professionals, contractors, clinical staff, inspectors, reviewers, facility staff, commissioning agents, when we all put one another's humanity first, we can begin to understand each other's perspectives and motivations and establish those human relationships. If you don't see the other people involved on the project as human beings and you haven't developed those relationships with them, it's easy to start pointing fingers. When human relationships are a priority, there's less pointing at each other and more pointing towards solutions that serve the client on these complex jobs.